Tonight, a major blaze in the Coral Harbor community impacting traffic as police were forced to divert motorists from two major roadways. Our news team on the scene, and we've got the latest. Plus, good news ahead of the busy travel season. After weeks of renovations and delays, runway work at LPIA are finally complete. And then the Prime Minister to meet with U.S. officials on a bilateral level. This in connection to ongoing investigations of a Cuban labor program. And then in our news at 7:30, could a new national holiday be bad for business? The proposal to honor the late Sir Lyndon Pinling met with mixed reactions. We'll tell you why. These stories and more as our news live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. A major fire this afternoon causing the closure of one of the busiest roads in the country. Traffic was at a standstill on Carmichael Road near the Coral Harbor roundabout this afternoon as flames danced dangerously close to the road and thick black smoke limited visibility. Firefighters say they were alerted to the blaze just after 11 a.m. and a fire truck from the Cable Beach Police Station responded. But heavy winds caused the fire to spread quickly, and two more fire trucks responded to the scene. The area is no stranger to bushfires. Last May, a massive blaze burned for days and spread for more than a mile, getting dangerously close to the Lyndon Pinling International Airport. Today, many residents of the Western Carmichael Road, Coral Harbor, Coral Heights, and Coral Lakes communities were blocked from getting to and from their homes. Firefighters are still battling the blaze at this hour, and coming up on our news at 7:30, we hear from a resident who watched the flames get dangerously close to his neighborhood. Now, our news team contacted the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, which houses its base in Coral Harbor, to find out if they were offering support to firefighters. We spoke to Commodore Dr. Raymond King, and we were told not at the moment, but they are determining if any additional support might be needed with more firefighters. Well, now to some good news for passengers slated to travel through the Lyndon Pinling International Airport, as rehabilitation works at runway 1432 are now complete, 2 months ahead of schedule. Travelers endured delays traveling through New Providence as the runway was out of commission during the upgrades. Nassau Airport Development Company Vice President of Operations Jonathan Hanna telling us the works come just in time for the busy season.
These rehabilitation work positions us quite well for the upcoming Easter period, which is envisaged to be extremely busy, as well as the upcoming summer operations when we tend to have some of the heaviest air traffic demand throughout the course of the entire year. So we're excited to finish this project ahead of schedule.
The $10 million project started on February 3rd and included the replacement of approximately 484,000 square feet of asphalt pavement, an enhancement aimed at extending the lifespan of the runway and strengthening the safety and reliability of LPIA's airside operations.
We've been working diligently over the last few weeks with our partners throughout the airport community and our government partners as well, which include the Bahamas Air Navigation Services Authority, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Bahamas, our airline partners, private aircraft operators, and our FBOs.
Well, weeks after the United States threatened to withdraw visa privileges for governments engaged in a Cuba forced labor program, Prime Minister Philip Davis says they've already met with officials on the matter. He says the U.S. says they will handle the matter on a bilateral level. It comes as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was in Jamaica meeting with Prime Minister Andrew Holness and other regional leaders.
We've had conversations with the emissary, the envoy from the State Department. Minister Mitchell met with them about 2 Sundays ago in Washington, and their position is not to deal with this on a multilateral level, but on a bilateral level. So I expect that we will be meeting with them when it is convenient for them to meet with us. We have noted to them that we're willing to meet and discuss this issue.
The Bahamas has benefited from Cuban healthcare professionals and teachers amid a long-standing shortage in both sectors. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell says the government checked and found no issues with the program. As for the recent meeting in Jamaica, Davis says he's not been advised on when the meeting is slated to happen.
I expect to be updated. The chairman of CARICOM at the moment is Mia Motley, and she attended that meeting along with 2 other leaders in the region.
Well, the Court of Appeal has upheld the decision of the Pharmacy Council to strip a pharmacist who studied at Macquarie Institute of his license. After receiving a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from the university, Rudolph Gibson became a licensed pharmacist in 2012. His license was renewed annually until 2016. However, further renewals were refused after the Pharmacy Council determined that the licenses granted to Gibson and other Macquarie graduates were invalid because the degrees did not meet the accreditation requirements of the Pharmacy Act. Gibson unsuccessfully challenged the decision to the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. A beautiful day around the islands. Warm temperatures, but we were on the windy side, and it's going to get a lot windier tonight, and that should continue through tomorrow. Temperatures warm on the outside right now, 77 degrees with a few clouds. Your winds are out of the northeast, and it is blowing out there, 20 miles per hour with some higher gusts. Feels like temperature is slightly above what the actual temperature is. Feels like 78 on the outside. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 75 over in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Alistown, Bimini. Great Harper Key, 76, 73 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Nicholstown, Andros, 77, also 77 here in the capital. Governor's Harbor, 76. Central Bahamas, 77 in Kemps Bay, that's in South Andros. Georgetown, Exuma, 77. 76s in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coopin Town, San Salvador. Deadman's Key, Long Island, 78, and into the Southeast Bahamas. 78s in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, as well as in Matthewtown, Inagua. Abrams Bay, Meguana, 77, and our very good neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands, you're enjoying a temperature of 79 at this hour. Satellite and radar composite, quiet across area, frontal boundary that moves through our area, now down near the southeast Bahamas, basically falling apart, but most of the activity pulling out towards the east. Turks and Caicos Islands could have possibly seen 1 or 2 brief showers earlier today, but that high will stay with us. Pressure gradient will be tightening, so we're looking at some increasing winds. Very dangerous boating and beaching conditions expected for the balance of the weekend into the weekend. So we're asking you to exercise extreme caution. We actually request that you stay out of the waters. It's going to be very rough out there. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, we hear from the 2-time world indoor champ, and she just coined one of the best catchphrases I think we've ever heard. Someone should trademark that and put it on a shirt.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball fans. Get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not 1, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's Sean Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The B3As had an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of Team Bahamas at the recent Indoor World Championships, none greater than the two-time world champion bringing the gold medal back home. 60-meter hurdles world record holder Devin Charlton won gold in her signature event at the meet in Nanjing, China. Against this traditional stacked field for the 60-meter hurdles, Charlton called it a surreal moment seeing her name on the scoreboard declared as the winner. It brought a triumphant end to an indoor season that was a struggle placed against her lofty expectations. Fellow sprint hurdler Denisha Cartwright completed her first indoor season at the pro level with a semi-final appearance in Nanjing. The remainder of the team included Anthea Charlton, who finished 6th in the long jump, Camille Rutherford, who was a semi-finalist in the 60 meters, and Wendell Miller, who ran a personal best in the 400 meters.
Bahamas basketball was placed in one of the most competitive groups ever in international competition. For the upcoming FIBA America Cup, Team Bahamas was drawn into Group A alongside the United States, Brazil, and Uruguay.
And speaking of the senior men's national team, one of those players saw his freshman season cut short due to injury and recently made the decision to forego the NBA draft and return to college hoops. Donnie Freeman will return to the Syracuse Orange for his sophomore season. Freeman's last appearance for the year was on January 4th before he was sidelined by a foot injury that eventually required surgery. He was the team's second leading scorer at 13.5 points per game and its second leading rebounder at 7.9 boards per game with 6 double-doubles. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As U.S. President Donald Trump further escalates his global trade war, this time signing an executive order to impose 25% tariffs on all automobile imports to the United States. And then, residents in Port-au-Prince, Haiti are demanding government take action to combat the escalating gang violence. We have the details when our news returns.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with Alive Business Bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust. This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order to impose 25% tariffs on all automobile imports to the United States starting next week, in a move that further escalated his global trade war and rocked stock markets. Shares of U.S.-listed automakers fell on news of the press conference on concerns that tariffs would send shockwaves through a global auto industry that is already reeling from uncertainty caused by Trump's rapid-fire tariff threats and occasional reversals. Trump says the tariff goes into effect April 2nd, the same date he plans to announce reciprocal tariffs, aimed at the countries responsible for the bulk of the U.S. trade deficit. Collection of the new auto tariffs would begin on April 3rd.
We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at, and we go to 25%.
Reciprocal tariffs next week. Will those be immediately effective April 2nd on all countries, or will you focus on the worst offenders?
No, we're going to make it all countries, and we're going to make it very lenient. I think people are going to be very surprised. It'll be, in many cases, less than the tariff that they've been charging us for decades. So I think people are going to be very, very surprised. I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know. I think we're trying to keep it somewhat conservative.
6 people were killed today when a tourist submarine sank off an Egypt Red Sea resort city. Local media reported that rescue teams had saved 29 of the 45 passengers aboard the submarine. The incident occurred at 10 a.m. local time when the submarine Sinbad crashed at a distance of 1 kilometer from the shore, according to an official release. Minors were among the passengers on the submarine, which belonged to a hotel bearing the same name, but it is unclear if they are among the fatalities. The Red Sea, renowned for its coral reefs and marine life, is a major hub for Egypt's tourism industry, which plays a critical role in the country's economy. Residents in Port-au-Prince, Haiti are demanding that the government take action to combat the escalating gang violence. The Caribbean country's security situation has deteriorated sharply in recent months as escalating attacks against civilians are eroding the few areas that remain free from gang influence. In February alone, 60,000 people fled their homes. Currently, over 1 million people are displaced across the nation, a figure that has tripled in the past year. Half of the country's population is facing acute food shortages, and many displaced people have sought refuge in makeshift shelters, where access to food, water, and medical care is severely limited.
We have nowhere to go. All of those sleeping at the gas station have nowhere to go. I just have one thing to say to the government. They have to do something for us. Help! Government of my country, help! We can't run anymore. Government of my country, do something.
Well, earlier this year, the United Nations COP16 Biodiversity Conference agreed to a landmark deal to mobilize billions of dollars to fund nature protection. The 196 countries that support the Convention on Biodiversity agreed on ways to raise at least $200 billion a year by 2030. So how does it all translate to a win for the environment? Our Jasmine Brown takes a look in tonight's edition of Sustainability First.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
The 16th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity was held in Cali, Colombia last fall. Fast forward to February of this year. That's when countries gathered in Rome and agreed to a late-night deal to generate $200 billion in financing a year by 2030. The goal? To halt and begin to reverse the destruction of biodiversity. COP16 President and Colombian Environment Minister Susana Mohammed applauded the agreement as a triumph for nature and for multilateralism in a year when the political landscape is increasingly fragmented and conflict is increasing. The need for action has only increased in recent years, with the average size of wildlife populations down 73% since 1970, according to data from the WWF's 2024 Living Planet report. The deal includes protecting 30% of land and marine environments globally by 2030. Analysts call it a positive step for nature and biodiversity globally.
I think it's really positive. I think the mood in the room reflected that last night as well. As I said, this is something that the governments have been trying to decide a way forward on for quite a long time. And now they've got a clear work plan. They've got a clear plan of action over the next 5 years about what they're going to do, when they're going to do it. And hopefully that will also help rebuild some trust in the process, because there's a sort of a plan that you can hold people accountable to.
Countries also agreed to a set of technical rules for monitoring progress towards their nature targets and secured a commitment for countries to each publish a national report on their biodiversity plans ahead of COP17 in 2026. Reporting for our news and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was March 27th. Plus, the Cable Bahamas family heads to the House of the Lord to kick off celebrations in honor of the company's 30th anniversary. And then in our news at 7:30, could Trump's new 25% tariff on vehicles imported to the United States affect us here in the Bahamas? Our Joshua Williams visited several dealerships on the island in search of the answer. That's coming up when our news returns.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much. Welcome back. On this day in Bahamian history, in 1817, the United States vessel Miriam wrecked off the coast of Great Inagua. In 1960, Eugene Davis, better known by his stage name Gino D, was born in Moores Island, Abaco. And in 2019, hailstorms were experienced in several settlements on the island of Grand Bahama. For the full recap of these highlights and more, be sure to head on over to ournews.bs. Well, founded in March of 1995, Cable Bahamas group of companies has provided thousands of households with internet, cable, television, and mobile services. To mark the recent anniversary, CBL employees attended a special church service. Our Danielle Miller attended the first official event to commemorate this milestone.
It's a celebration ongoing here at Cable Bahamas as the company recognizes 30 years in business. To kick off the month-long celebration, executives and team members gathered for a service of worship and reflection at Bahamas Harvest Ministries. Amber Carey, Vice President of Marketing and Consumer Solutions, expressing a heart of gratitude for team members and the public support.
We have so much to be thankful for over these last 30 years. There's so much, it's taken a village really to get us where we have, right? And our employees and our customers have been such a big part of that. And we think, it's time to come together to pray for where we have been, for all that has gotten us here.
Offering internet, cable, and television services, in recent years, the company launched a telecommunication provider, Alive. CEO of Alive, John Gomez says, Cable Bahamas has set a standard throughout the years, becoming a trailblazer.
This whole journey started 30 years ago. I was born at that time. but I'll tell you, Alive started 8 years ago. And so you think about where did the time go in terms of even Alive coming under the fold of Cable Bahamas in terms of providing the mobile services for the country, which is something that the company looked for, a competitor that created value and also stability for the sector.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Well, that does it for our news at 7. But before we toss it to 7:30, Thursday is the new Friday here at Our News, and we want you to have some fun with us. Joining us now is entertainment correspondent Danielle Miller. Danielle, I know you're looking to get a jump start on the weekend. What's the latest? Where are you tonight?
Hey Megan, I am hanging out at Envy Lounge located on DeVoe Street, and I am just having a nice drink with a few friends. It's been a long time since I've been in here, but the wing's still hitting. I ain't even gonna lie. But you want to know what else I'll be doing this weekend? Make sure to go to our social media platforms and watch Thursday is the new Friday. And for your weekly dose of entertainment news, be sure to tune into our 7:30 p.m. broadcast. All right, guys and gals, until next weekend, deuces. Back to you in studio.
Jealous in studio.
I need the wings.
Honestly.
All right, thanks so much. We'll have more on Danielle's escapades in just a bit, but for now, here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, a fire broke out in the Coral Harbor community this afternoon, sending plumes of smoke into the air and affecting traffic in the area. We have the latest straight ahead. Plus, a newly announced 25% import tax on cars and car parts is set to take effect next week in the U.S., sparking global concerns over rising prices in the automobile industry. But what does this mean for local car buyers? Our Joshua Williams has a story coming up. Also, as small businesses struggle with rising costs, Prime Minister Philip Davis toured Fox Hill, speaking with owners about the challenges they face, and later, a proposal to introduce a new public holiday in honor of the late Sir Lyndon Pinling has sparked discussions across the country. While many see it as a tribute to the nation's first prime minister, some business leaders are raising concerns about its financial impact. That's all coming up when our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckum, #1 in pest control services.
Diet-friendly special.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. A major fire this afternoon causing the closure of one of the busiest roads in the country. Traffic was at a standstill on Carmichael Road near the Coral Harbor roundabout this afternoon as flames danced dangerously close to the road and thick black smoke limited visibility. Firefighters say they were alerted to the blaze just after 11 a.m. and a fire truck from the Cable Beach Police Station responded, but heavy winds caused the fire to spread quickly and 2 more fire trucks responded to the scene. The area is no stranger to bushfires. Last May, a massive blaze burned for days and spread for more than a mile, getting dangerously close to the Lynden Pindling International Airport. Today, many residents of the western Carmichael Road, Coral Harbor, Coral Heights, and Coral Lakes communities were blocked from getting to their homes. Godfrey Barry was one of them.
My concern is why can't we have another road? Like I know Howpen Road, there was a dirt road that's supposed to lead into Coral Harbor. At one time they was thinking about making another corridor. That tells me now that is needed, or another exit or entrance into Coral Harbor, because if this continues to happen, we're going to be stuck. And if something like a disaster happens, then we have this all over again.
All right, we will continue to follow that story. Well, on Wednesday, the Trump administration announced a 25% import tax on cars and car parts. The increased tariff will take effect early next week. There's a global concern that it could hike up prices in the automobile industry, but how will it impact local car sales? And should you be concerned if you're planning to buy a car soon? Our Joshua Williams visited several car dealerships today to find out.
U.S. President Donald Trump slapping 25% tariffs on all cars imported into the United States. And with the Bahamas importing all of its cars from foreign countries, what does it mean for taxpayers locally? The tariff hike is expected to come into effect on April 2nd. Economists warning that things could rapidly get expensive. While there are some dealers who import American-made cars, others import vehicles from Japan. According to Montague Motors Managing Director Brent Fox, the majority of shipments that brings cars to the Bahamas from across the pond don't stop in the United States.
All of our cars from Japan and those boats that carry the cars do not enter in or transit American territory. Therefore, as far as we know, the tariff will not affect us.
But sales agents at S&L Motors feel differently. According to the Observatory of Economic Complexity, a company that tracks global trade data, in 2022, the Bahamas imported $202 million worth of cars, making us the 117th largest importer of cars globally, with the United States, Germany, Japan, China, and South Korea being the main primary import sources. There are some who believe the tariff will have a direct impact on those imports.
The quality isn't there anymore than when we first started the car business. But in regards to the price, it's going to go up. And people barely could afford it now in regards to bringing it themselves. So imagine if we're trying to sell it to them, the price is going to go up.
In recent years, more electric cars have flooded the auto market, many of them sold by local EV distributor Easy Car Sales. One of its directors, Pia Farmers, says there is no need to fear for those that choose to drive eco-friendly vehicles.
So we source our vehicles from the country that is leading electric mobility in the world, which is China. And those cars do not go through the United States before they come here to the Bahamas.
And for Fox, it's another opportunity for local entrepreneurs to adapt.
There's a host of places where we could be dealing with these countries direct, and we don't have to be reliant so much on what the Americans are trying to do.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Joshua. Prime Minister Philip Davis visited 3 small businesses in Fox Hill this morning as local owners and others battle with rising costs, making it difficult for them to do business. It comes amid a tariff war between the United States, Canada, Mexico, and China, which will eventually impact countries like the Bahamas that import items from the United States. Davis telling reporters the walkabout revealed the supply chain for local businesses has been monopolized.
The merchants they buy from, the ship that brings the food in, the port it lands at, are all in the same conglomerate. And that, in our view, is a monopoly. And so we're discussing with them, and we are implementing a program we call a Trade Diversification Program for Affordable Food, where we are getting a number of of convenience stores such as this one to combine together to do bulk purchases from new trade centers.
The Prime Minister says the initiative already started with the first shipment coming in the next few weeks. The ultimate goal is to reduce the cost of items for regular Bahamians. His walkabout also came days ahead of a 5% decrease in value-added tax, which is expected to take effect April 1st. Davis says a robust inspection program is in place ahead of the rollout.
We have put in place a very robust inspection program led by Senator Randy Roll, and he's been visiting stores and has been visiting stores over the last several months, looking at prices, and he'll be ensuring and looking at why or if the savings that we intend to be for our people meet the benefit from that savings and is passed on.
The proposal to introduce an additional holiday in honor of the late Sir Lynden Pinling has sparked nationwide debate. While many back the idea as a way to honor the former Prime Minister, questions remain about its impact on the business community. Our Delvardo Emmanuel spoke with the CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, who's raising concerns about the potential economic impact on small and medium-sized businesses.
We have 11 holidays as is. If we want to change one of the other holidays, then perhaps that's the route to go.
Chamber of Commerce CEO Dr. Leo Roll is not a fan of the suggestion to add another holiday to the calendar year. Earlier this week, while speaking at a branch meeting, Progressive Labour Party Chairman Fred Mitchell proposed that the government make the birthday of Sir Lynden Pinling or a nearby date a national holiday. While the proposed holiday might sound good to many, the business community has expressed concerns. Roll acknowledges the significance of honoring the nation's builders, but warns that introducing another holiday could further strain the already challenging economic environment for many businesses in the Bahamas.
That's one less day of earning revenue because they're closed. That's one less day of productivity because the business cannot operate. If the business is opened, they then have to continue to pay that staff member or the entire staff for overtime, and so there's an added or an incurred cost to this.
The Chamber points out that the Bahamas currently ranks among the top 3 countries in the region for the highest cost of living and has the highest number of public holidays. While he thinks honoring the nation's heroes is commendable, the Chamber of Commerce CEO cautions that economic realities must be considered.
When you think about an increase to NIB, an increase in minimum wage, an increase in shipping and logistics, an increase in import duties, the added layer for inland revenue relative to accountants. And so all of these aspects are already coming against the productivity or the profit of the business.
Dr. Rose stresses that any measures that further hinders the business community will be met with resistance from the Chamber. The focus, he argues, should be on improving productivity rather than adding more holidays.
People want to stay home. They love the excitement of an extra day. But if there are no businesses to pay you, you'll be home for 7 days, not just an extra one.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvardo. Nice weather we're experiencing across the chain of islands. Wondering what else we can expect as we move closer to the weekend? Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Windy conditions on the outside, not much in terms of any clouds out there, but temperatures are slightly on the warm side. 77 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. Your winds out of the northeast at 20 miles per hour, and they are gusting high at times. Feels like temperature is at 78. Satellite radar composite, ridge of high pressure building across the area, tightening pressure gradient across us as well. That's going to allow our winds to be increasing. So we're looking at some hazardous beaching and boating conditions through the remainder of the week and into Saturday. Looks as though the winds may slightly fall off on Sunday. But in the meantime, we're asking you beachgoers and your boaters to stay out of the waters. It's going to get very rough out there. Frontal boundary down near the southeast Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands basically falling apart. That will exit the area, and we're looking for some beautiful conditions for the remainder of the weekend into the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your weekend forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, today marked exactly 1 year since former Deputy Speaker and Tall Pines Member of Parliament Don Saunders Sr. was killed. Our Sasha Lightborn spoke exclusively with his family. Straight ahead, also a new pilot initiative promoting food sustainability and agricultural education was officially launched in Grand Bahama last week. And that's all coming up when our news returns.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2%.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball fans. Get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not 1, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Today marks exactly 1 year since former Deputy Speaker and Tall Pines Member of Parliament Don Saunders Sr. was killed. Our Sasha Lightbourne spoke exclusively with children, his children and wife, who reflected on the past 12 months without him.
Losing a parent is not easy, and if you ask Danielle and Don Jr., losing their father, Don Sr., has been the toughest thing they've ever dealt with in their lives. Former Deputy House Speaker Don Saunders Sr. was tragically gunned down a year ago outside a bar in Gambert Village. It was a story that gripped headlines locally and internationally for weeks. But for Danielle and Don Jr., he was more than just a headline. He was their father and their friend, a man among men and a pillar for their family. 1 year later, they say there are still good and bad days.
Moving forward has involved embracing his legacy and applying the lessons he taught me to navigate.
Through the past year, I've accomplished a lot, though. Despite the challenges we face, as my sister mentions, there's been a lot of growth and adjustment to now living with just my mother and my sister. But I believe that we're gonna bond together stronger and get through it together.
In the midst of it all, Don Jr. made the Carifta Aquatics team last year and again this year. He says swimming has become an outlet for him in more ways than one.
I'm now an advocate for mental health and ensuring that persons have professionals to help them, because that's really helped me.
For Danielle, her outlet is going to the gym.
I also made time for self-care days. Simply the moments where I would help me to treat myself and to find calm amidst everything I was feeling.
They say support has also been an important part of the healing process.
Our church community has been a powerful source of spiritual support.
And for Saunders' wife, Tiffany, that support goes a long way.
The struggle is still there, but through prayers and encouraging words, motivation from others, it helps us daily. So we just take it one day at a time.
Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
All right, thanks so much, Sasha, for that report. Now turning to Grand Bahama, the Economic Empowerment Through Agriculture program, a pilot initiative in partnership with Berkshire Farms, officially launched last week, led by the Junior Local Government Council. The program aims to promote food sustainability, security, and agricultural education. As a part of Agriculture Week, a public forum was held at the Wallace Groves Auditorium at the Mary Star School in Freeport. The initiative aligns with the efforts of the Echo Club at Mary Star, with Berkshire Farms officially adopting the school. Key discussion topics included sustainability, security, farm-to-table practices, ethical farming, and much more. Facilitator Veronique Martin explains the students are involved in a number of activities, including the incubation of eggs.
Globally, there is a problem with logistics and food shortage, global warming that is caused, if you've seen the fires that we have, but food sustainability is extremely important. It is important that you know what you're eating, so when you grow what you eat, you have the opportunity to grow and feed your family in a healthier way. It is also important, the education side of it is important for us to train our children, and by extension, they go home, their parents, they start farming at home, they get their neighbors to farm, and by extension, we start to build a community outside of the four walls.
The speakers, Managing Director of Berkshire Farms, Terrence Roberts III, Managing Director of Island Manor Farm Store, Jerry Kelly, and Agricultural Technician at Proserpina AgTech, Constina Hamilton McKenzie.
So far, we've planted a few fruit trees. We're also working on a composting program. The school has recently received some bins for recycling. So of course we want to repurpose waste, so separate our trash, and then we can also bring them to the farm, whatever's excess. We can break it down and also be able to use it. And then the school is also doing a gardening program where some of their crop will be able to be sold at our farmers markets.
There are about 13 hydroponic systems, one particularly within Mary Star of the Sea and their eco school, and we assist with their growing any planting materials that they may need.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, the Bahamas Bridal Show dazzled attendees on Sunday, featuring stunning gowns and a showcase of top vendors. Our Daniel Miller brings us the highlights straight ahead.
Coming up in sports, Team Bahamas is back home from the World Indoor Champs. Hear about the group of death who are in for the FIBA America.
Pain.
And the Bahamian prospect that is headed back to school and will forego the NBA draft for now. Spoiler alert, it's not the one you think it is. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The B3As had an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of Team Bahamas at the recent Indoor World Championships, none greater than the two-time world champion bringing the gold medal back home. 60-meter hurdles world record holder Devin Charlton won gold in her signature event at the meet in Nanjing, China. Against this traditional stacked field for the 60-meter hurdles, Charlton called it a surreal moment seeing her name on the scoreboard declared as the winner.
When I start to see the names that were going to be there, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to have to work a little bit more for this one. And then seeing my name pop up was kind of surreal. Still in a little bit of disbelief because I'm just looking at how my season went and versus like how the race turned out. You have to be kind of a little bit delusional thinking that I could go in running the way I was and come out a world champion. So, but you embrace the delusion.
It brought a triumphant end to an indoor season that was a struggle placed against her lofty expectations. Fellow sprint hurdler Denisha Cartwright completed her first indoor season at the pro level with a semi-final appearance in Nanjing.
It was a great experience, a learning experience, and just excited to be representing Bahamas on the big stage. Looking forward to representing for sure in 2028 and in Tokyo, Worlds Outdoor. Only looking to put my best foot forward there.
The remainder of the team included Anthea Charlton, who finished 6th in the long jump, Camille Rutherford, who was a semi-finalist in the 60 meters, and Wendell Miller, who ran a personal best in the 400 meters.
Bahamas basketball was placed in one of the most competitive groups ever in international competition. For the upcoming FIBA America Cup, Team Bahamas was drawn into Group A alongside the United States, Brazil, and Uruguay. Group B includes Panama, Venezuela, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Group C includes the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Argentina, and Colombia. During the group phase of competition, each team will play one game against all other teams within its group. The top two teams from each group, along with the two best third-place teams, will advance to the quarterfinals. Argentina is the reigning champion, having won the 2022 title in Brazil. This will be the 20th edition of the FIBA America Cup, which began in 1980 and has been hosted biannually since 1993.
And speaking of the senior men's national team, one of those players saw his freshman season cut short due to injury and recently made the decision to forego the NBA draft and return to college hoops. Donnie Freeman will return to the Syracuse Orange for his sophomore season. Freeman's last appearance for the year was on January 4th before he was sidelined by a foot injury that eventually required surgery. He was the team's second leading scorer at 13.5 points per game and its second leading rebounder at 7.9 boards per game with 6 double-doubles. He came to Syracuse following a summer where he was named a McDonald's All-American, a 5-star recruit, and made his Bahamas national team debut at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. It is tournament time. Did you see on the R News page with the Bahamian food bracket? Kong Salad, #1 overall seed.
Yeah, it's going to just be a cakewalk right through the championship.
Coconut Tart will like to have a word.
They're not on it.
Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, a ballroom filled with bliss. The newly branded Bahamas Bridal Show took center stage on Sunday, offering future brides a glimpse into the perfect wedding day. Plus, sunshine and pleasant conditions continue in the capital, but will this trend hold? Greg is back with the answer when our news continues. Stay with us.
Your investment with our
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Talia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with Alive Business Bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
This is our news. Welcome back. High pressure is building across the area, tightening pressure gradient across our islands as well. We're looking for increasing winds starting this evening, and that should take us through the weekend. So beaching and boating will become a challenge. We're asking you boaters and you beachgoers not to get into the waters. There is a near gale watch in effect for the entire chain of islands, so we're looking at some very strong winds and some very rough seas. Frontal boundary now down near the southeast Bahamas, exiting the area. Not much in terms of any weather associated with that, but that high will stay with us, and that high is expected to slide out towards the east. That's going to be allowing some moisture to move back across us for the weekend, so we stick a few showers in there. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that boundary still out to the east of the islands. High pressure in charge, quiet weather expected, some high level moisture moving across our area through Friday, and then by Saturday, as I said, we do expect the winds to turn more east to southeast, so some moisture will be moving in, bringing us a few showers for the end of the week. Small craft advisory in effect for the entire chain of islands. We are urging you boaters and you beachgoers not to get into the waters. High rip current risk out there as well. Northeasterly winds 20 to 25 knots. It will be gusting to near gale at times. Seas running 5 to 7 feet, but building up to 10 feet in some northeast to easterly swells. Your tide was high at 7:09 this evening. Your low tide takes place at 1:25 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, windy conditions Friday, breezy on Saturday. The winds expected to come down. Winds turn more east to southeast by Sunday, bringing us some moisture, so we stick some showers in the forecast. But by early next week, temperatures will be back into the mid-80s and lovely skies expected. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Craig. Well, formerly known as Button's Bridal Show, the Bahamas Bridal Show took center stage on Sunday. As our Danielle Miller tells us, it was a ballroom filled with bridal bliss. She has highlights in this report.
How did you guys meet?
Oh boy, so we actually met on the Jesus March that happened last year. Was it May 18th?
Yes.
May 18th last year. And yeah, it just went, it was history from there.
Organizers of the 35th Annual Bahamas Bridal Show pulled off another jaw-dropping event at Grand Hyatt Bahama over the weekend. Every year, the event draws attention with a variety of bridal vendors accosting patrons with products and services, not only for the day they will be bride and groom, but also a lifetime of being husband and wife. From apparel to venue options, food and beverage, insurance plans, and more. However, the highlight of the event is the actual show. There were models adorned in the best bridal wear, and it wasn't just for the ladies. The men are not left out of the fun, dozens of them springing out of their seats to participate in the famously provocative games that have become iconic staples of the show.
Right now, we on top of our A game. That's our third prize, and we come for it all, or we come to win, that's all.
What game did you guys participate in?
It was the Ghana challenge.
The Ghana challenge. And you think you need to work on your skills when it comes to that for your wedding?
I need to work on it. It was just, controlling and wait until,
So you didn't want to do too
much. For the show, that's for all.
Congratulations to all of the couples. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much, Jenny. Of course, to see that story again, it's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.